I have a theory. Board games are the ultimate framework for connection. Board games aren't just about cardboard and dice. They're a social technology that give us systems and boundaries that allow us to make meaningful connections with people we've known for all of our lives and strangers that we've never met before. Now, I really wanted to put my theory to test, and I had the perfect opportunity to do so over the last weekend. I recently found out that Dubai was holding its first ever expo. Tabletop Me ran a 3-day expo, and it was the first ever one in all of the Middle East. No one has ever done it here before, so getting the opportunity to spend 3 days with people just like me was something that I just couldn't miss. I set myself a challenge to see if my thesis was correct. I decided to go to the expo all by myself, not knowing anybody, and to see how many new people I could meet and socialize with. I'm Steve, I'm a huge board gamer, but I'm also terribly anxious around new people I've never met before. I am really inept in social situations, and I've always struggled to talk to new people. Until I was about 25 years old, I couldn't even speak to somebody new without going bright red. So I thought I was the perfect person to put in the situation and test to see if my thesis ran true. Look, I don't have many friends. I've not lived in Dubai for very long. I work from home, and like I say, I'm really socially a nervous type of person. I'm just not good in that type of environment. I don't want you to get me wrong. I'm blessed with my family. I have the most amazing wife who is my soulmate and my best friend, and my kids are absolutely amazing and I love them. I just want you to understand the type of person that I am before I explain how the weekend went, because talking to the camera now, it's actually making me kind of emotional because it went so much better than I ever would have expected. I got to meet some of the most amazing people. I got to meet nerds, cardboard heads, painters, you name it. I had deep conversations with people I barely knew, and I had light ones as well. And this was done through our shared love of playing board games as we all sat around a table playing with cardboard pieces. Over the long weekend, I got to play so many new games. But what I'm taking away with me are all of the amazing people that I got to meet. I'm so happy that I forced myself to go to this con. I have to say though, for the first ever con in Dubai, they smashed this one out of the park. What was really, really cool about this con was it was gamer first. I've been to a couple of cons where it's all about just buying and consumerism and taking and buying and going to the different shops and buying some more things and then finding the new hotness and buying more games. Don't get me wrong, there was some really cool new games to buy, and I picked up some really, really fun games, but there was just so many different cool things to do, from RPG sessions to really cool tournaments. An actual funny story is I learned unmatched 5 minutes before the tournament, and I went to the tournament. I was the first person out, and I lasted like 10 minutes, but it was still really, really fun, and I got to meet a really cool new friend and somebody who I got to share it with. And even though I lost in absolute record time, and it was, oh my God, it was actually quite embarrassing. I didn't even know what I was doing, to be honest. It was really, really bad. But the tournament was super, super fun. So not only did they have tournaments, they had escape rooms, they had really cool sessions with some really interesting people. We got to listen to the CEO of Essen talk about how they set up their expo and how that works. That was incredibly interesting. We got to meet people from all over the Middle East who have only just started opening board games, because Middle East isn't a huge board game place. And what the owner of Tabletop Me, Mark, I met him through getting media pass. He's a really nice guy, and all he wants to do is share the love of board games like I do, and he just wants to bring it to the Middle East. Also, a massive shout out to the Artist Alley. The artists at here were some of the best artists I've ever seen. The talent of just watching them paint, and as you walk past and creating all of these masterpieces, honestly, it just blows my mind that people can be that talented at art. Like, it was incredible. They also had the new Riftbound there from League of Legends, and I've never played a TGC before, so that was a really cool experience. I got to sit down with some cool new people and learn about this whole new side of gaming, which is something which I've never done. And the Riftbound system is so cool, the way that the runes and stuff work. If you're interested in TGCs, some of the friendliest people I've ever met. Like, honestly, they were so cool. Like, everybody there was just so nice and friendly, and like, I didn't know anybody, so I was just going up to them for the first time and talking to them. And just the way that people get excited about things that they like, it just makes it easier to talk to people. social. So that's another thing which you have to take into consideration. Honestly, the best thing about this con was, though, it allowed me to feel like myself. What was incredible was even the difference of type of people that I got to play with. One great thing about Dubai is it's so multicultural. So I got to meet so many people from different cultures and religions, and even what people do for a living, like people I would not normally get the opportunity to sit down with and spend time with. I got to spend time with dentists and pilots and maintenance men and board game cafe workers, like from one extreme to another. You would never normally get these people sat down together, but here we are all sat in this environment together, having the best time ever, laughing our heads off, playing a great game and having shared memories together. This is what I absolutely love about board games, and how you can build connections with people who you just normally wouldn't be able to. The beauty of board games are they build ecosystems. Everybody has a voice, a turn. They get to have input in what you're doing. And the great thing about this is the different types of board games facilitate this in different ways, which makes it easier to form new connections. Like, for example, if you're playing a cooperative game, you're all working together to try and overcome something that's bigger than you guys. So you get to talk about what to do, how to take your next turn and where to go. If you're like me and you never know what to say in a situation and you've always struggled, board games give you that thing that you need to say. They give you a reason to socialize with somebody, and it's just one of those things that just makes you feel more comfortable and easier to do. And even if you're a confident person or a shy person or whatever type of person, you're gonna have some form of input because you're all around the table and you're sharing it together. I can't really think of another thing that does this except for board gaming. And like I said, you've got the different styles of games. So with negotiation games, you have to use empathy and observation to work out what the market is, and if you want to spend this much, who you speak to that person, and somebody might not like it if you're in the face where somebody else might. You'll learn about different types of way to approach and to speak to people. And then another great one is social deduction, where you can use truth and dishonesty, and it really mixes it up, and it's one of those things where you don't normally act like that way in a social setting, but this allows you to do it in a fun and friendly way. And that's why they're so beautiful. It's just social storytelling. You all get to come around and you'll make a memory together, and it's going to be something that you're going to remember for however long you play. Like, for example, I met two really cool dudes this weekend, Taryn and Van, and we played a game of Rebirth, and me and Taryn had the same missions, and we were at each other the whole entire game. Meanwhile, while Van was on the other side of the board and just took over, and it was just a funny story, and I'm always going to remember that Van scored like triple the amount of points than we did. Playing board games has taught me that it's okay to be yourself and feel comfortable around other people. And for probably the first time in my life at this expo, I got to do that. And honestly, I've never done that before. And it just felt so good to be able to sit around people who enjoy the same things that I do, and we all got to share our love of board gaming together. It's honestly really is making me emotional just thinking about it, because I got to meet some really incredible people this weekend. I'm gonna show you some photos now of all of these amazing people that I got to spend time with and games I got to play with them. I'm literally coming away from this, going out there trying to prove a theory of seeing if I could make connection through board games, and I'm coming out with making brand new friends, having amazing experiences, and not only that, after a couple of days I wanted to bring my family along because I was just having the best time ever, so I got to spend time with my family too. It was the first time Oscar, my 9-year-old, had ever got to really truly experience a con, and we got to paint our first miniatures together. We played loads of games, we just sat there and he listened and he learned and he was polite. It was just such a fantastic experience, not only for me but for him as well. This hobby is not just about board games and finding out what the new FOMO is and backing the new Kickstarter. It is all of those things, but it's so much more. It's about people and connections and feeling like you belong, and that's exactly what I got from this whole mission that I set myself. Hopefully there's somebody who's just like me and who's really shy and introverted and struggles to be social. The next time you think about signing up to a con by yourself or going to a board game day or whatever, I just want you to do what I did and take a deep breath, and even though you probably won't sleep for a couple of days if you're anything like me beforehand because you're so nervous, you can do it. And if you push push yourself to do it, you'll probably be surprised at the outcome that you'll get. And putting myself out there and feeling vulnerable, and then coming out feeling like I've met all of these amazing brand new people and created real connections with strangers and getting stronger bonds with my family. It's just, I mean, what more can you ask for? Like, how can you just not love the hobby that we live in? It's just absolutely the best, and I love it so much. And I just hope that one of you can get, if anybody even watches, can hopefully get something out of it and just push yourself out there and just realize that you're not going to find an easier way to create friendships than through board gaming. And that's it. That's my episode. I want to just make it clear that I'm in no way, shape or form have I been sponsored or anything. I did speak to Mark about getting a media pass so I could shoot, and that's it. I haven't been paid. Nothing's been exchanged. Nothing like that whatsoever. All of this is just honest, and I just wanted to set myself a challenge and to see if my thesis was true. And I can happily say it. Not only was it one of the best things that I've done, I was completely correct in this instance. And for me, board gaming is the ultimate framework for connection. Sorry for getting all emo there. Got totes emotion.